Now you can hear me, I'm pretty sure. Hi, everybody. Excited for this webinar tonight. There's nothing more beneficial than water. I mean, yes, getting adjusted in our nervous systems, like you see behind me, but there are so many healing properties to water. So I am super excited. If you are on, let me know you're here. Say hello. I have no idea who is on. I have no idea where you're listening from. I don't know if you are a patient or if you are somebody that found this on Eventbrite or a friend told you. So if you're on, say hi. I can see, I'm pretty sure I can see all comments. I can see all things. So if you have any questions as we go through, know that I have a way of answering them and I can see them. So if you have any questions as we go through, put them in the comments. And if you're just now joining us, say hello, say hi, because I have no idea who's listening or viewing this at all. So let's get right into it. So here's what I'm going to be covering for this webinar. I'm trying to, move my screens around. There we go. So then it makes it a little bit more simpler of like what I can see and not see. Beautiful. Okay. So what I'm going to be covering in this webinar is first, what is in your drinking water? We're going to go through, are you drinking the right amount of water? And we're going to talk a little bit about water fasting. I could do a whole another webinar on water fasting. So we're going to touch on that at the end. So let's first of all talk about the miracle that is water. If you don't know what that is, it is the electrical symbol or chemical symbol of water, which you most likely know is H2O. And what's so cool about water is makes up 60 to 80% of our human cells and tissues. So that's a majority. So 60 to 80% is a majority number of our cells and our tissues. And water, that molecule that you see right there, that might seem like absolutely nothing, is the key to all cellular function. So every single cell that we have inside of our bodies, what makes up our entire body, water has a vital role in making sure that all cells function properly. Also, for your mental health, for you to think clearly, you have to have enough water and the right amount of water and the right kind of water in your body in order for you to think clearly. So your mental performance, and not only that, your physical performance. So like being able to move your body, to move your muscles, even your bones need water. So every single part of our body, every single function inside of our body has to do with water. Also, water can function as an antioxidant. And if you don't know what that means, water itself protects our cells from damage, especially by free radicals. So free radicals are they can go in our bodies and they can cause damage. They can cause oxidation. You can think of them like the bad guys that are inside of our bodies that we don't want, that can cause us to age faster than we're supposed to. Some of you have done water, like increased your water intake, and you can see like a difference even in your complexion and in your face by drinking enough water because it acts like an antioxidant. So our overall health depends on water. So do you know what is in your drinking water? We're going to get right into it. Okay. Sorry, I'm just going to get myself together. Hi, Erin. When we think about let's just think tap water and how tap water is inside of our bodies. Like we have a whole system inside of our cities that does it. Now, the scale and limitation of our standard like municipal filtration systems, most tap water does absolutely contain contaminants, and a lot of them can be in higher concentrations that our bodies can handle. So I'm not going to go through every single one of them. If you got the email that I sent out yesterday, it had a list of them. So there's things in there like arsenic, aluminum, chlorine, prescriptions. I'm going to see if I can. My screen is a little bit crazy. I don't know if I can. I don't actually think I can because I can. Hold on. Let me do. I think you can still see me. Okay, great. Where I'm gonna go on to this and I think we can do it together as long as I take it out of this part right here. Sorry, I just made a decision, a game time decision, but prescriptions, and they found things like antidepressants, birth control pills, ibuprofen, blood pressure medications, and cholesterol medications inside of our tap water. And I'm going to tell you guys that there's a way to find out what's exactly in your water. It's public knowledge and you can know exactly where to find it. And that's what we're going to do here in just a minute. But the biggest things, these are the three things that I want to walk through of the biggest ones that we've got to absolutely avoid. They're the ones that the biggest causes and biggest culprits of health problems in our body. So the first one is called DPBs, or disinfection byproducts. And these are found because the actual filtration system of our municipal whole thing, they're trying to get rid of stuff. So they're cleaning out the water. So any type of parasites, any type of problems, they are trying to. So there's no they're not trying to kill us, okay? They're not trying to kill us out there. They're trying to do the best that they can. So they're using things like chlorine and disinfectants to kill out anything that would cause issues and problems, because other countries don't have that, and they can get bacteria, parasites, all of that stuff inside of their body. So we live in America, so they're trying to get rid of all of these right here. So they're using the disinfectants, but the thing is that the disinfectants are still in our tap water. So once they use the disinfectants and once they use the chlorine, they're not filtering that out. So then we have clean water. Those are still inside of our tap water. So the biggest problem with these DBPs is that they are endocrine disruptors, and they negatively impact fertility in males and females. Then there's also fluoride. And high fluoride especially attacks the thyroid. So you can see fluoride at a 0.5 milligram per liter can disrupt thyroid function. And then you have lead. And usually lead are the pipes that are going into your house and your building. This is rarer in our countries, but it still exists in a lot of places. And so in the US, water reports have to be given to us free by the city. So you should not have to pay for any results. So if you go on somewhere and they're like, to see your results, you have to pay for something, you're in the wrong place. However, you can choose to test your tap water at home, and that your actual tap water that's coming out of the faucet, that does cost money to test that. It costs about $25 to do that. Or you can even send your water sample to some independent laboratory, and they can analyze it and see exactly what this is. So you can get as nerdy as you want to when it comes to figuring out what is inside of your water. So let me see if I can. I'm going to stop this screen from hi. And then I'm going to share my screen of this guy. Great. Let's see if we can do this together. So here's the website that you go to. Up here, you see ewg.org/tapwater. And you can enter in your zip code. I am in 37215. I'm at the office right now, and I'll press go. And you can go down into here and you can see there's a lot of different ones of different departments, and you can be nosy and figure out where you're at. I don't know why it goes to, I think it's because it goes down. It's a bigger zip code. I'm just going to go into the Nashville Water Department number 1. And I'm going to click on it. And you can see if you click here, who it serves, the date available. And you can see right here, look, 7 exceed the health guidelines in our tap water right here. So if we drink out of the faucet, there's 13 total contaminants, but 7 are exceeding. And you can go down and see exactly what is inside of there. So it says 47 times right here, the guideline, 23 times chloroform. Yeah, 23 times the amount of chloroform inside of tap water. You absolutely do not want to do that. If you want to see, you can go into knowing exactly what's inside of there, the health risks, increased level of cancer. Then, continue. You go down. I went down and I kept going down. Where was it? Right here. Oh, no. Oh, I have to go back. Sorry. Go down past this. You can go into other contaminants that are tested. You ready for this? I already looked this up. Testosterone, stearine, which is like styrofoam, estriol. You can see I clicked on it. I was like, is that really estriol? So there's 3 different kinds of estrogen that exist. Estriol is one of them, estrone is the other one, and estradiol is the other one. So there's like, when I say that there's birth control pills inside of our tap water, I mean it. Like, I'm not just saying that, and I don't mean to put like fear inside of it. That's not what this is. It's like helping you to understand what is inside of your water. So then that way we can do something about it, and we can be educated on what is inside of our water. So you can see exactly where yours is at. You can go and see how many contaminants are in there. You can click on each one of them and make sure you know exactly what is inside of your water. So crazy, right? Let me stop this part right here. Great. Hide my face again. And then let's go back. Cody says this is so mind-blowing. It absolutely, absolutely is. So let's go back to now. It's like, okay, so what do I do? Filter, 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 filter. Now, we're going to take the next couple minutes. We're going to first talk about like what kind of water. There's different kinds of water. And you've made, sorry, some of it's like highlighted and not highlighted. It doesn't mean anything. Distilled should be highlighted and hard water should be highlighted. But hard water, you may have heard of this term before, and hard water is higher in magnesium and calcium, which is good. This increases the pH, and which also can increase absorption of the water into your cells, but it does not actually change the pH of your tissues. Because I know a lot of us, like there's pH water. Should I drink pH water? Should I not drink pH water? Now, with pH water itself, like the more alkaline, that's what it means. So there's acidic and alkaline. And drinking more alkaline water can reduce inflammation and blood pressure and lower the risk of cardiovascular disease. But I am not here to tell you that you need to like drink only pH water, and that's going to change the pH of your body. Now, you don't want to drink acidic water, and you don't want to drink too alkaline of water. So your body, though, regulates itself on its own as far as acidity levels and alkalinity levels go. We just need to make sure that our water is clean. When we have clean water, then that helps everything become homeostasis. So I don't want you to be so fixed on drinking the right pH water or the alkaline water or all of that. Like that is actually very small of like what you need to be doing when it comes to water. Now, distilled water or even double distilled water, because I know sometimes when we buy water, there's drinking water, there's like purified water, there's spring water, there's distilled water. There's so many types of water. Now, distilled water, it removes calcium and it removes magnesium. So due to how greatly those are benefits to our body and the absorption of water, do not regularly drink this type of water. Okay. Then you have reverse osmosis water. This is the one that people talk about a lot. And repeated filtration over and over and over again gets rid of a lot of that stuff that I just talked about, like every single one of them. This is super, super safe to drink. However, it can be expensive to get reverse osmosis water or have a reverse osmosis filtration system in your house. And it also needs to be remineralized, because if not, then it's all void of minerals, which is the best part about water. Now there is, and it's not on here, but we have purified water, which is just expensive tap water. So don't drink purified water. If you're going to drink water, you want it to be spring water. Now, spring water, and like this, like right here, it comes straight from the mountain. It comes straight from the spring. Those are going to be your best options if you're going to buy something from a bottle. Now, we get Mountain Valley, and I always hate doing this because then everybody goes and buys it and then we don't get any, but I'm happy to share it. And the more that there's a demand, then the more that they'll come. So the reason that we love this right here is because there is nothing inside of it that is added to it. Like you can have water that adds in magnesium and calcium, and they put that all substitute inside of here. These are all naturally occurring inside of there. And we want those minerals inside of our water. It helps our body digest, helps them communicate with our cells. So that's how we drink our water. Okay. Now, there is something called structured water. It's a very controversial topic. I'm not going to speak too much on it because there's not a lot of research about it, but some of you that are nerds out there that like, I have to talk to people that have know nothing and then people that are like know everything about it. And so what they're saying with structured water, and if you want to look at it, you can, but what they're saying is like in the presence of some solids and liquids, the configuration of water can change. So they're trying to create like charges with other like charges. So positive charge and positive charge to attract, to form stronger bonds. And so there's no scientific evidence, however, supporting any health benefits of structured water, but some are creating these theories that it'll help them in your cells and like help create extra health benefits from it. I'm kind of like, why do we need to manipulate water when like God gave us the water and like we just have to make sure that it's like clean water? So that's my 2 cents on that part right there. But I know people like to biohack and do all of that stuff. So these are your types of water. Now let's talk about like filters. Like what kind of filter should I use? Like what do they filter out? Do I need to spend a lot of money? What if I don't have any extra money to filter things out, Dr. Cassie? Like, what do I do? So I'm going to tell you something. For most people, it's very much a good idea to filter your tap water. Okay. Even if it is something like a Brita will disinfect those DBPs, but they do not get rid of like the fluoride or the chlorine. So anything that's like smaller particles, they can't quite get through. But if you are using a Brita, you're at least getting rid of those disinfectants, and that's great. So based on your budget, okay, there's an option for filtering your tap water, even if you have a budget of $0. Okay, so this first one right here, I'm going to put it in the links right here, like in the comments. So whether you're on Facebook or you are on YouTube, let me first put in that link to finding out what's in your water. So this first link is the EWG. Go into the tap water, making sure that you have that. This first one is a pitcher. It costs $81. It's called Clearly Filtered Pitcher. And that's like your about $100. These are pitcher filters that get rid of fluoride. So this is an extra level, extra step. The only thing is you do have to pay for the filters, and you want to make sure that you're on time changing out your filters. The filters for that one are $45. So it's a little bit of an investment total, but it gets rid of the fluoride, the DEET, all of it, like all the lead, everything like that. So if you have that and you just need a pitcher filter based off of your budget, that is a really good one. I am not associated to any one of these companies. Like, it's just, these are the ones that we found that are the best when it comes to filtering out water, and they're just resources. I do not get any dollar bills or anything from them. Okay. Now, the next one, if you have about a $200, like there's a budget, you could do under the sink water filter. We have one of these at our house. It's iSpring, and I will send that link right into the comments there. The iSpring one goes underneath, and it is a carbon filter. It filters it like 4 and 5 times, but it gets rid of all of the stuff. It's great drinking water. We use it because the biggest thing is not only drinking it, but then if you cook with it, if you make ice cubes with it, you want to make sure that everything is filtered out. We give filtered water to our dogs. That's how that's the water filter that we have at our house right now. Now, some of you, there's also the countertop filters for bigger, larger volumes of water. Berkey is a great example of one of those. I'll put let me do this and see if, yeah, I put what it actually is inside of there. So then Berkey is really super great. It's on the counter, filters everything out. Berkey comes in a few different things. You can get 2 filters, 4 filters, 6 filters, 8 filters. So of course, the more filters that you have, the more that it filters everything out. So you can choose based off of your budget and what you want to do for your water. Now, $800 plus. This is like a whole house water filtration system. If you can do that, awesome. That is great. A lot of people aren't able to do that, but Aquasana is an amazing. Dr. Michael, did you just like put something on there? Oh, maybe a shorter version. Great. But this one right here, this is Aquasana, is great for a whole house water filter. So that means that you can drink the water of anything, like the stuff you brush your teeth with. Everything is completely filtered. You don't need any extra filter, but everything that would come out of your house is completely filtered. That would be your very, very, an error occurred. Dr. Michael might be able to help me. An error occurred on that, but that would be your best option if you are able. Now, there is a zero cost option. Okay. Zero cost option looks exactly like you see right there. Put 1 to 5 gallons of water uncapped at room temperature for about a day, and the sediment will fall to the bottom. So then you pour off the top 2/3. Now you're like, Dr. Cassie, there's like no sediment in there. Yes, there is. You just can't see it. And so if you rest it in there, you want to keep it uncapped. So anything that needs to come out of the water, absolutely, totally fine. That is your zero cost option to get the least amount of those toxins to get into your drinking water from the tap. Now, do not opt for boiling tap water as a filtration method, because high heat actually makes the contaminants worse. So you may have heard that before. It's something that's been taught before, but no, that can make contaminants worse. From the research, like they're showing that is not the best way to do that. It's better to just let it rest on your counter. Now, here's a bonus for you. Your shower. It's not just like drinking water. You also want to filter your shower. I didn't just pause there. I couldn't get the words out. Bonus shower filter. It's not just about drinking. There's a lot of water that is used in showering. I just connected the Aqua Youth is what we use. Dr. Michael put it on there, but it gets rid of all of that stuff so that when you're showering, you're also not putting it into your body as well. Great. I just put a whole lot of links in there. If you have any questions on that, just email me. Happy to send those links out again if I need to. If you have any questions and you're just joining, or if you've been on, say hey in the comments or ask the question. We'll have time at the end. Now, how do we optimize our hydration? let's first talk about dehydration. The effects of dehydration, even mild dehydration, there are negative impacts on your physical performance, your alertness, your cognitive focus, and thereby causes brain fog. The best indicator of whether or not you are like dehydrated, there's ways like you can pinch your skin, but you need to know there's ways that you can like press onto your your finger and you can see the change. And if it doesn't go back right away and it takes like it takes more than a couple seconds, then you're most likely dehydrated. But being thirsty is a great indicator that you are not sufficiently hydrated. However, when you're thirsty, that perception of being thirsty, it lags behind what's actually happening of true hydration inside of your body. So not being thirsty also doesn't mean that you don't need more fluid and that you are fine. So we need to start preemptively planning our hydration strategy, especially if there's weather changes, if we're exercising, if we're in heat and we're sweating. Like, we want to make sure that we have enough hydration in our bodies. So how do we do that? Now, I want you to know that these are all averages. We don't need to neurotically consume this and make sure that we're there every single hour, every single day, doing exactly what this is. However, just being practical when it comes to this. But here's what we want to do. You can notice that I don't just say drink half your body weight in ounces. That would be too simple, right? And that's very generic. With the research and with the studies, we want to aim to consume 8 ounces of fluid per hour for the first 10 hours of our day. Okay? The issue is simply most of you do not drink enough water in the waking hours of your day at the very beginning, especially parts of your day. So that means that drinking 80 ounces in the first 10 hours after you wake up can absolutely, first of all, help decrease the onset of any type of dehydration. But why the first 10 hours? I mean, you can read it right there, but your body has a circadian clock and it regulates the kidney and the gut via a hormone called vasopressin. And within the first 10 hours of you waking up, the kidney works efficiently to start filtering fluid, and then the output goes, and then we might pee a lot more, and that's totally fine. But drinking more water in the daytime will have you going to the bathroom a little bit more. However, that's not a bad thing. Your kidneys have to take that water, get out of your body, and you have to pee in order for all of this to work properly like it should. Now, what about Dr. Cassie? Like, I pee at night, and so this is going to be terrible for me. Here's another bonus, okay? If you wake up though 1 to 2 times per night to urinate, it's not an indication that you have a disease process or a problem, okay? But if you struggle with more like you're frequently going to the bathroom, or you're like, oh gosh, it's just so annoying. The biggest part, number 1, hydrate during the day. Reduce your fluid intake in the evening and in the 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. And if you need a drink at night, sip it slowly. I don't know about you, but sometimes that doesn't happen for me. I'm like gulping it, but it's most likely because I was dehydrated throughout the day, or it was something that I ate and it took all the water and my body needed to put more water out. So I needed to put more water in. But the rate of your fluid consumption impacts your need to urinate, as does the volume that you consume, of course, right? So those are a couple things that you can do at nighttime if you have a problem going to the bathroom at night and you want it to stop. Now, we're going to get a little nerdy for a second, especially for those of you that want to get nerdy with water. So what about if you exercise? What about if you sweat? What about if you drink caffeine? So that does change the game of drinking water the best way. So there's what's called the Galpin equation, okay? So during exercise, you should be drinking water. So during exercise, you take your body weight in pounds, you divide it by 30, and that gives you the number of ounces to consume every 15 to 20 minutes. If you're in the metric system and you like the metric system and you want to work in that place, that's fine. Or maybe you're listening from another country that only uses the metric system. But that part right there is important to stay hydrated while you're exercising and making sure that you get all of the water that you need. Now, if you are in hot temperatures or you're sweating like a sauna, you want to make sure that you are, for every 20 minutes, increase that Galpin equation to 50 to 100%. And every 20 to 30 minutes in a sauna, you want to consume an extra 8 to 16 ounces of fluid. That also means, like, if you're out hiking or you're in a hot place, like, make sure that you're drinking enough water because you're sweating. That is what you want to do every 20 to 30 minutes. Take a sip of water of those ounces that it is for you. Now, we also need to be very mindful of how caffeine also does need to increase our overall water consumption because it's a diuretic. So when you drink coffee, whether it's caffeinated or not caffeinated, like, you can pee and you pee more. So if you drink caffeine, we need to increase the fluid intake. Ideally, if you can put some electrolytes inside of there or a pinch of salt, a 2-to-1 offset. So if you have 8 ounces of coffee, you need to have 16 ounces of water, ideally with an electrolyte if you can, or a pinch of salt to offset what happens. Remember, thirst is lagging of this. So we might not know that we're dehydrating our body, but we can. And so we want to make sure that we're doing that throughout the day. Okay. Questions? Is everyone get nerdy with the water? Should be on a t-shirt. I love it. So how much should you drink? Exactly like that. Think about 8 ounces. And some of you might be sippers. Some of you might be gulpers. I'm more of a gulper than I am a sipper. If you can sip, great. But I try to make sure I have it all within the first night. Like the first time I wake up, I do a bigger portion of not those 8 ounces, but that's ideally what you would do, is have those first 80 ounces in the 10 hours. But right when I wake up, I have almost an entire one of these right when I wake up to get things going. And then in the middle of the day, making sure that I have had another one of these by the middle of the day. And then after lunchtime, just sipping on water until 2 to 3 hours before bed. So it keeps me from going to the bathroom at night. Now, let's talk about some water fasting. There's a couple things with water fasting that need to be talked about. And the first one is you have to prepare if you're going to do a water fast, especially if it's a longer extended one. I'm going to talk through each one of them here in a second. And then the other one is that fasting is like a muscle. You have to understand that, like, this takes time to do, and you get better and better at it each and every time. Just like a workout, like, you get better and better, you get stronger and stronger. Fasting works exactly the same way. Now, water fasting especially, like, this has been practiced forever. Like, throughout all of history, it's one of the most ancient healing practices that people have done for years and years and years and years. And there are tremendous health benefits to water fasting, but it can be a little bit challenging, especially the first times that you do it. Now, it can be uncomfortable and sometimes even downright painful doing these fastings, but you will get stronger and stronger each and every time. Now, a caveat to this, I didn't make a slide for it, but people that should not do like any type of water fasting or extended water fasting, especially unsupervised, is anybody with an eating disorder, pregnant women, nursing moms, young children, people with type 1 diabetes, extreme athletes, like in season, like don't be fasting, like you should be eating, especially if you're working out a ton. And anybody that is severely underweight or anybody on medications, especially diabetes medication, anti-seizure medications, corticosteroids, they all impact your blood sugar levels. So just as a caveat, as I'm going through, if you fall in one of those categories, then you need to either wait until your body's healed from things, that you are recovered and restored, you have a baby, you're not breastfeeding, like you're like older, like making sure those types of things. So preparation. The best way to prepare for an extended like water fast and a water fast only has more to do with doing a version of intermittent fasting and eating. So when you're eating healthier, even like the advanced plan, a ketogenic diet, eating more fruits and vegetables, like doing something where you are actively making sure that the food that you're putting in your body is good and healthy is a great start to preparation. Intermittent fasting is also a great prep for doing a water fast. So that means you can do 12 hours, 13 hours, 14 hours, 15 hours. You start to slowly move your fasting window to bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, it's significantly easier to do when your body's in a fat burning place than it is in a sugar burning place. So with food and eating it, like eating no sugar, no carbs, like refined carbs, like getting your carbs more from vegetables and not from breads and pastas, like keeping those out of your diet for a period of time and then going into a water fast is a better way to prepare than just doing it cold turkey. It's also a good idea to, there's 24 hours, 36 hours. It's a good idea to start with just 24 hours or 20 hours of a fast, like 1 to 2 weeks before you even go straight into a 3 to 5 day fast. It will help get your body used to not having food and your body will get adapted even better. But here's the cool part about water fasting. You can do it however long you want to. 24 hours is a really good one to reset your gut. If you want a gut reset or you feel like something's up inside of your gut, 24 hours, straight up water, only water, you're going to really start to heal your gut. 36 hours to 48 hours, the whole purpose of this is to get insulin down and go after any stored sugar inside of your body. So one of the things, especially for people that have had just weight loss resistance, you can't get past a plateau, you are struggling to lose weight, you have tried, doing a 36 to 48 hour fast can help you get there, especially those that are extremely weight loss resistance. You're going to want to do a 36-hour fast on a weekly basis. And you need to, there's a couple things I'm going to go through at the end. So then it's like, how do you know if you should stop it? And what does this all look like? But what happens in here too is stem cells start to release. And so stem cells are repair cells. So when your repair cells are getting released inside of your body, if you have some sort of a musculoskeletal like injury, doing a 36-hour fast will help your body heal that because the stem cells are being released inside of your body. Now, a longer one, 3 to 5 day, this is, you have to make sure, like this is an advanced fast. You can do it quarterly though, and like throughout the year. I think that's a great thing to do. You must be comfortable doing a 24-hour fast to do a 3 to 5 day fast. You also need to understand when and how to break your fast, which I'll do in here just a second. And you need to have a way to measure your blood sugar and your ketones. This is the best way to do it, the healthiest way to do it, the smartest way to do these 3 to 5 day fasts. I don't want you to just do it just because it's cool. I don't want you to do it just because I say that. Like, we want to make sure that you're doing it in a very healthy way. But 3 to 5 day fasts do amazing things for your immune system and any other type of like chronic issues or problems that you might have, chronic inflammation, a chronic disease process in your body that you've had for forever. These can be done quarterly, and it's helping your body to trigger its own healing process. You may have heard words like autophagy. If you are a nerd when it comes to these types of things, you may have never heard that before. But autophagy is like your body goes out and it eats any type of cancer cell. It activates those cells to go in and start eating and cleaning up. It's like literally just cleaning up any garbage inside of your body, in your cell. And a 3 to 5 day fast will absolutely start to trigger this. So I suggest doing it like 24-hour, 36-hour, 48-hour, then go into 3 to 5 day fast. It's the best way for your body to be able to adapt. Now, when should you break your fast? Like early. So if there's any sign of your blood sugar dropping below 50 or ketones going above 8, then you need to absolutely stop your fast. If there's any type of dizziness, if there's any type of fatigue, if there's like lethargy, that can happen on like day 1 and day 2. So one of the things that we do when we do our fast is we'll put a little bit of salt in our water or electrolytes in our water. So then that way it can help keep everything balanced of where it needs to be. Another thing is like making sure when you're doing this is that the best couple ways that you can support your body while you're fasting, there's a couple different things that you can do. Oh, I thought I put it in here. I don't have it, but I'll just tell you. Making sure that when you're doing this, these guys right here. So I'm kind of going backwards. One of the best things that you can do is make sure that you aren't stressed out. So when you're going to do it on a low stress day. Maybe when you are on a weekend where you're not doing much of anything. That is a great thing to do during those times. Low stress days help for when you're going to do an extended fast. Avoid negative people, like anybody that's negative or wants to say anything negative to you. Not a good idea to do a fast because we know hangry is a real life thing. So if you can't be around people, great. Be around positive people, awesome, that support what you're doing and not cause any issues or problems with that. Make sure you're drinking enough water. Like when we do these fasts, just like we talked about the importance of drinking enough water, make sure you're drinking enough water. And another thing, having some good salts available. So pinch of Himalayan salt, a pinch of sea salt. It shouldn't taste like the ocean, but that right there can remineralize. So if you're feeling a little bit tired and sluggish, like drink some of that, put some of those in there, watch how things change. But if it like continues and you start to get dizzy and you're like super lethargic, then you need to be done with the fast. Avoid the kitchen if you can at all costs. It's a great thing to maybe even sometimes be a little bit busier or do things, but like keep it low stress, like nothing crazy, like go for a walk, like go like outside, get some sunshine, ground if you want to, like walk on the grass, just hang out, chill out. These are the best things to do during the fast. Give yourself permission to rest if you need to. Schedule it on a time that makes the most sense, not on your busiest days of the week. And be very strategic when you're drinking your water. That does matter. Like we said, you already have the things that you need going in the perfect part of doing your fast of like 8 ounces, slowly sipping it throughout the day. Put some lemon in there if you need to. Totally fine to do all of that during a water fast, and you'll start to see amazing, amazing benefits from the fasting. Great. Edna says, I love it. Great information. Christy says, thank you. I'm late to the webinar, but if you haven't touched on it yet, I would love to know if you're familiar with your Fast Like a Girl. I love Fast Like the Girl. I am on her reset program. I bought it. I'm doing it. I love it. the best thing if you want to know I recommend getting that book, reading that book, going onto her website, especially for anybody that is a woman, how you can fast like a girl appropriately so that it supports your hormones. She does talk about all of this, especially anybody that's in menopause. Like these are super great to reset hormones. But women, if you want to like time this, the best time to do 24 hours, 36 hours, 3 to 5 days are at the beginning half of our cycles before we ovulate. At the second half, the luteal phase, we don't want to be fasting during those times that are like extended fast because our progesterone goes up. And so we want to support that more with like food and not doing extended fasts during those times of our cycle. So you're going to see more benefits during the beginning parts of our cycle when we are fasting after we menstruate. So like day 5 and day 6 and day 7, 8, 9, 10, not when you ovulate. Those are really, really good. I love it. I don't see any other questions. Donna says, good job, Dr. Cassie. So I so appreciate you guys being on here. Again, if you have any questions or need to go back and watch this, you can share it with people if you want to, but you can watch this as many times as you want to on our YouTube page. Go to click on the live and it's up there. You can watch it. You can watch all the other ones that we've also done over these past years since 2020. So we've got 4 years worth of webinars on YouTube. So I have another one on fasting. So Christy, if you're still watching, you can go on to the one where I do talk about intermittent fasting. And at the very end of that one, I talk all about the fasting like a girl. I didn't quite hit on water fasting, so I did that on this one, but there's other webinars and things on all of that as well. All right. I love you all. I'll see you soon. Have a great Memorial Day. If I don't see you, I'll see you next week.